MMA Meltdown on the Fight Network continues. Let's send it to Costa Rica, where the premier combat sport odds maker in the business, Joey Odessa, joins us. You can check out his new website, odessa.com. Joey, what's going on? Always a pleasure.
Hey, what's happening tonight, G?
All right, Joey, you know what? We're ready to roll, man. We've got a stacked card. Stacked card. We did well last week with the no-name card, actually. We went 6-2 from Manila early Saturday morning, so we enjoyed that card. We got big names on this card, but we also have big favorites on this card as well. And I got to tell you, I'm part of the public here. Johnny Public Parlay, Joey. I'm going to be racking them up, just going down the list. Cerrone, Weidman, Travis Brown. That's minus 130. I guarantee you're probably going to see about 3,000 of those parlays on Saturday.
Oh, for sure. You know what's going to happen? They'll parlay all the favorites. Every week there's the guy that comes in with the $5 parlay. He'll parlay every dog on the card. And you know what? One day is going to be his day.
Well,
it happened. We saw Lightning Strike. I mean,
yeah, they $5 players made like $48,000. So if you put $5 down on every dog on every card, you struck gold that one time. You're still way up. People are going to be chasing that right now. But I'm looking at this, and the odds makers, you guys have bumped up favorites over the years. Everybody was a minus 300 favorite in the old days, and you could put together a 3-fight parlay and actually get plus 130, plus 140 on it. You can't do that anymore. And I think, Joey, you tell me, you're the numbers guy. I think these numbers will even go higher because I don't think people are going to be betting on Belfort. I think Weidman will probably close as a 6 or 7-1 favorite.
Yeah, it depends on the early card starts. I mean, if there's a parlay buster early, I would imagine, they've liked this Justin Scoggins from the get-go. They've always supported him even though he got beat. Going up the card. Some of these, the early upsets possibilities, we spoke about it off the air. Rafael Natal, it's more of a fade against Uriah Hall because we don't know what to expect. Dong Young Kim against Berkman. Berkman's had this resurgence, although, his fights, he beat some good fighters that he wasn't expected to beat. I don't know where that's going to leave him.
Under questionable circumstances.
Still a 3-1 favorite. All these guys, Dotson, the average price on here is 3-1 or higher. So it's tough to it's tough to go in here and parlay a bunch of dogs together because you might not see two dogs cash. If it did, it'd be great, and that's what I would say most of these bookmakers are looking for right now. With 5-1 favorites, you only need one of these dogs to get there, and it'll wipe out the whole card. You'll get these guys chasing, and if they chase late and they don't have a lot of ammo in the gun, it's going to be a lot harder to lay minus 650 on Chris Weidman as opposed to taking, the guy who's supposed to lose, Vitor Belfort, at plus 450. You might get some guys just chasing with dogs.
And you know what? With Travis Brown's a big favorite. That's a heavyweight fight, so anything can happen in a heavyweight fight. But both you and I have been wrong about Arlovsky for the last, let's say, year and a half or 2 years. I thought he was completely shot and done. I thought it was kind of laughable that he even was coming back to the UFC, to be honest with you, Joey. Yet he's defied he's defied logic. He's defied the odds. I got to admit when I'm wrong, and I know you felt the same way about him. But the guy's winning fights right now. But you got to believe Travis Brown's too much for him.
I would think so. I like Travis Brown in the fight. I think he's a little overpriced because they are heavyweights. But I left Arlovsky for dead way back in, gosh, it seems like yesterday. Back in Elite XC, back in like 2008. I didn't see, and that's pretty much when Travis Brown came on the scene. I had Arlovsky left for dead. Arlovsky's been around forever. Arlovsky's been fighting since 1999. He lost to Rico Rodriguez, Pedro Hizzo. You're talking about some guy, Tim Sylvia, who, I haven't heard his name in forever, except when he had all those bouts with Arlovsky. I don't know. Even when Arlovsky fought Mauricio Cruz, we're going back 10 years. Pano de Pano, and the referee restarted. Arlovsky punched him in the face, and they're both going for leg locks. That kind of upset me a good bit because I needed Cruz there. I'll never forget that one.
He's outlasted. He's outlasted a lot of people. So here he is right now. But Brown's size is just going to be too much. Arlovsky's fought some aging fighters, and Brendan Schaub's not that good. So You know, let's just call that out for what it is. We got our boy Moraga taking on Benavidez. I think Moraga's lost a little bit of his edge, that he made a little bit of money after the title fight. Benavidez definitely is better. Maybe that's a shot. Maybe that's a shot right there with an underdog. But I think like you said off the top, out of all the underdogs here, I think Rafael Natal actually is maybe the one with the best shot of actually cashing. Maybe Mike Pyle against Covington.
Well, you know, we always say, and people that I really respect say that this Pyle is one of the best gym fighters they ever seen. But when he gets out there, he just doesn't, you know, he just seems to have hiccups. You know, Moraga's going to give an honest fight. He always does. You know, it's come from behind against, was it Scoggins? He came from behind and choked him out. You know, and his losses are all reputable. Dotson, Demetrius Johnson. I mean, Moraga's only got 3 losses in his, 20-fight career or something? Say almost identical to Benavidez. Benavidez has a few more fights, and he's actually he's got 1 more loss. So you're going to get an honest fight out of Moraga. And the other thing is, you know how there's so many things going on in the UFC right now and MMA. I mean, you have the new drug testing things that are going on. You have the sponsorship things. So a lot of things on these guys' minds. And, you know, we preach it all the time. What separates the goods from the goods and the greats from the really greats is mental and how they handle it. Some guys, I mean, you've seen it. You see it in the casino. You'll see guys fight over $2, $2 on a craps table. I mean, some guys, money affects them a different way. And if they lose some of these sponsorships, you know, they get in the dumps. You know, they get depressed. Instead of letting them motivate them, you really don't know what's going to happen with these guys. I mean, you don't want to fight a guy that's poor because, you know, you don't have a lot to gain.
Joey
you know what I'm saying? If you're fighting him for money, it's like fighting an ugly guy. I mean, what are you going to do? You could walk out of it, if you're Phil Greco, I'll name drop Phil, you go in there, I mean, chances are you're going to, Phil's, he's got the model Oscar De La Hoya look to him. I mean, it's not to me, if he fights Mayorga, he's going to win a beauty contest, 100 out of 100 times. You know what I'm saying?
Joey Odessa with us. Joe, we got to wrap it up already. So you go with Cormier or Johnson? We got to get out of here, though. So quick pick.
I like Daniel Cormier. I liked him against Jones. I was very surprised Jones manhandled him the way he did. I'm still surprised. But John Jones is one of those fighters that, and I'm going to make the comparison, and it's tough for me to do it. I'm going to compare him to Floyd Mayweather. What he does in the ring, in the cage, is borderline brilliance. Even though he has some close ones, everybody's going to have a close fight here and there. But outside the ring, he's dysfunctional. And I think that's what makes him so great in the ring, because it's tough to balance both. When you balance both, you're the best of all time.
I hate zigzagging, but I think Cormier spent after that emotional ragdoll loss to Jones. We got to get out of here. Check out Joey's website, Odessa.com. We'll come back with our videos in a week.